Hello, and welcome into my reselling channel, Flippin' Hippos. I'm Star. Today's Tuesday, so it's time for Tutorial Tuesday. Every Tuesday, I do a tutorial where I teach you something new. If you have any requests for any screen shares, any tutorials you would like to see, anything you would like me to show in this series, let me know. I do take requests. Today, we're going to talk about doing professional photography with very little to no money and very little effort. Now, my process does include List Perfectly, but they are partnered with Photo Room. So if you're not a List Perfectly user, number one, you can sign up and try it for 30% off your first month with code flippinhippos. Or two, you can use something like Photo Room to remove your backgrounds. When we first started reselling, we had a very intensive, expensive, time-consuming setup for photographs. We had one of those huge stands and big rolls of white butcher paper that you would have to replace. You know, you could only use it for so long. You put the butcher paper on this big stand and you would have to clip it on. You'd pull down just enough white paper and you'd clip it and hold it. And over time you would have to rip that off and pull it and keep it fresh and white. That was obnoxious. And then we had the big lights. They were taller than me. I'm only 5 foot tall, but still these were very tall lights with the big squares like this giant. You'd lug them out. You'd put one on either side, so you'd have the big stand with the butcher paper on it, and usually some kind of table where you could rig some boxes underneath to make a flat surface if you needed it, or if you were doing clothes, you would just have the white. You'd lug out these huge lights, plug them in, and you'd have to turn them, and you'd have to keep turning them and testing them until you got them just right. The whole setup took maybe 5 minutes to set up and 5 minutes to tear down. It got very expensive. It got very cumbersome. It got very annoying. But this is what I did every morning and every evening for, 5 years, 6 years. And then I realized that with List Perfectly, who uses Photoshop, with that background removal, I can be in a dark, dingy office and throw stuff on a floor and take a picture, and it still looks crisp, bright, and professional, as if I had this professional setup. And now with AI, there's all kinds of things you can do with your pictures. So I don't think we're in the day and age where you need to spend all the money on the big elaborate setup and the lights, bring it out, take it back. I mean, there was a point where we did have a designated space, but for at least the first 3, maybe 4 years, we did not have a designated space. So the setup had to be brought out and put back each morning and night. Then we had like one wall where we kept it on, but it ate up a lot of space. It's just obnoxious. And I don't think anybody needs that anymore. I take all my pictures on a table or a command hook on the wall nowadays, and they come out beautiful. So we're going to go over here to my phone, and I'm going to take some pictures of several different items and show you how I take the photos and what I do. And then we'll come back over here and I'll show you in List Perfectly how I remove the backgrounds and make them look nice. Again, if you don't use List Perfectly, you can use Photo Room or another app very similar, and it'll do the same thing for you. I just really like List Perfectly because this is just one of 1,000 things it does for me to get my listing from the photo stage all the way to the sold stage. It's Photo Room, it's AI Lister, it's an inventory management system, it's a delister, cross lister, it's everything. So that's why I use it. So I'm going to show you, and you can try it if you want 30% off. If not, use Photo Room or something else very similar. But they're all the programs now that remove the backgrounds and have the AI and stuff, they're all going to be pretty similar. So you'll be able to watch my process and repeat it for yourself and not deal with white boxes and stands and setups. It's just not needed in 2026. We are in a different day and age for photographs, really. So let's go over here to my phone and I'll take several photos of different types of items that I list and examples. And then we'll come back over here to the computer and I'll screen share and show you how I get them ready for listing. First thing I do is open List Perfectly on my phone. You would just open your camera to take photos if you don't use List Perfectly. And we're going to start with a plushie as my example. Any plush I have go on this table. And I just snap them like this. And you can see in the photo, there's all kinds of stuff going on in the background there. And usually that TV that you can see would be on because I like to watch movies while I take pictures. So I would even have a whole movie on behind him and all that other stuff going on. I'm going to put all of the different items in one listing just for the purposes of this tutorial. So next I'm going to show you a swimsuit. I would just put it on the table, front and back. And then I would take pictures of the tags as well. Jewelry, I put on the table. I will go into close-up mode on my Android and get a good picture like that. I'd take several more. And the last photo I would take would be the item next to a measuring tape. And then we're going to go over here to the wall. And this is how I take my shirts. You can see, let me show you here. You can see that this is just a command hook on my wall with a hanger and a shirt. And if I had a swimsuit, same thing, I would just put it would be on the hanger, but you get the drift, right? And I would just take the picture right there. So all my shirts, skirts, swimsuits, they just go on a hanger right on that hook. And you can see when I took the picture, sometimes my printer and stuff gets in it, and it's okay. It'll be fine. So I will meet you back over at the computer. So let's go over and look at how I fix those photos to get them ready for my listings. And I'll show you how professional they look. You've seen the behind the scenes. You've seen all the stuff in the background. You're going to see how they look professional after I put them through my little process that I do. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go to List Perfectly. Now, again, if you're not using List Perfectly, you're going to pull your photos back up on your phone or your desktop and use something like Photo Room or another app that edits photos for you. List Perfectly is partnered with Photo Room, so what you're going to see here is the Photo Room app in action. It's just through List Perfectly because they're partnered. So these are the pictures that I just took. The plush are the most magical. I mean, you can see just stuff going on here for days. And like I said, I usually have the TV on so it'll catch like actors mid-speaking or mid-murder if I'm watching a horror movie. So let's go ahead and remove his background. And there you go. None of that stuff in the background. And you can't tell that my office was kind of dark. I don't know if you noticed that. My office has no special lighting, no photography lights. There's not even any natural light in here, to be honest with you guys. I have blackout curtains back there and just this light up here. And I do use a ring light here. But for my photos, it's just this light on the ceiling. That's it. That's the only light in here. No special lights, no nothing extra. So that is how it comes out looking. Beautiful. We're going to do the other ones in the bulk, so it's a little bit faster. But you can see in the second photo, I've got the floor in there. I got part of the printer and with the shirt. Sometimes I catch my feet or a little bit of side boob. And I just run it through this background remover. and they are ready to go. These are now professional, amazing photos for your listings. That looks like that was taken inside of a light box, doesn't it? It looks like this was taken inside of a light box. It actually looks like it's standing up. It's a flat lay photo, but the way the tag is and everything, doesn't it look like it's standing up? And then the shirt, there's no printer, there's nothing in the background. You can see a little bit of the hanger, which I feel like is okay, but the command hook always disappears. And that, my friends, is how you can take really professional photos on a budget with very little money. A command hook's like $3 and very little effort. You can just go into your office or your workspace, even if it's like your dining room, your living room. You can just go wherever that is and just start taking pictures of items and then running them through a process where you're removing the background and making them look a little bit nicer. It saves time, it saves effort, and it will speed up your processes and your productivity. I promise you, if you just bring a stack of stuff into your office, plop down with a table in front of the TV and just start taking photos, worrying about removing the backgrounds later, you will be so much faster. And what happens in our business, when you're faster and you're more productive, you're getting more items done in less time, and you are more profitable and more successful. That light just went out. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about anything you saw today in this video, let me know. And again, if you want to try List Perfectly, you can get 30% off your first month with code FlippinHippos, no contract. If you decide you don't like it in that first month, sayonara, they don't care. You got no penalties, no contracts. But it's worth it for try out for that 30% off. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe, because it helps me feed my hungry hippos, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.